Alright, so I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back I made a post about an engine out of a Kawasaki ZX11, and I had just got done rebuilding it, but I didn't do the head, so it burned oil because the valve seals weren't completed. And we got it together, ran fine, burned a bunch of oil, smoked a bunch. Put it together, only to find out that third gear is jacked up. So we took it apart again, and this is what we see. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm gonna try to get it to focus. All you need to know is that is either the clutch, with the previous owner, the clutch sticking and just slamming it into gear, or he's just, beating it to death and just slamming it into gear without the clutch at all. But took it apart, turns out somebody messed with the clutch before, so the clutch is fine, but they messed with this. They machined those gears by going and taking an ML and machining it on an angle, and it didn't work out so well. So that's where we're at. We bought new shifter forks right here. My feet are freezing, I don't have no shoes on, but yeah, that's where that's at. So this has been sitting in the garage for like 2 months, and it was $180 off a Copart, and it ran, but the water pump was leaking coolant into it and a lot of other things. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to have to buy new gaskets for the top end besides the base gasket, and I'm going to have to do the valve seals and stop being lazy. And then I'm going to machine those gears again because they want $160 a piece for them, which that's, unless I magically get $6 grand for this bike, I'm not going to keep putting this kind of money and time into it. So I go to school in the morning at machine shop, so I'll try to see if I can do that the best I can. The problem is I have to locate all 4 or 5, whatever of those notches perfectly, or else all the load will be on one of them, which I believe is what happened before, and then all the load on one of them just makes it go right out of gear, bends the whole case. It'll bend the whole case, like, trust me, it's a lot of pressure when you don't have the gears meshing together properly. And overall, I think the design and quality of this transmission and engine is very low. The dog engagement is like literally 2 millimeters, which for that to hold 80 foot-pounds of torque at whatever RPM, 10,000 RPM, is just not going to happen. So if you look up this problem, you'll see on forums like, what the hell, my bike's doing this too. It could be a number of things. It could be a bent fork, it could be a bent this, bent that. I physically cannot brake my Honda. I don't know why the Kawasaki's don't make them like this too, or like the Hondas, but you gotta have your gear go in all the way, It's just stupid. It's all about that shift drum. Shift drum is what pushes the fork over, and then there's slop on the fork, so then it won't go in all the way, and it's bending, it's putting pressure on it. And from the factory, they already have a slant which is supposed to grab the gear in, but it doesn't do that, obviously. So once that corner gets rounded off, it starts slipping out of gear, and it just gets worse and worse. So, but the fan works, all the electrics work. The front tire is trashed, the back tire is trashed. I fixed the suspension, it runs terrible. So I need to fix quite a few more things with the carburetors and stuff, and then get the right heat range for the plugs. I'm probably just going to get a hot or heat range and then let it detonate because I don't really care. It's not going to be mine. But yeah, it ran, but it didn't go into third. It only went into third when you let off the gas, not when you hit the gas, which is concerning. So yeah, I need to get the transmission fixed to where I don't have to pull the engine out any more times. And then I ordered a body from China, and they gave me the wrong one. They said, no man, your body is a 92, and I'm like, bruh, it's literally a 93. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, it's a 93, and it says it on the other side on the real tag too. Yeah, so this thing's clapped. When I first got it, I spent 1 day getting it running, or 1 hour or something like that, just to get it running with the carburetors, like cleaned out the carburetors. Look at how many miles it has on it. 32,000, that's it. So, yeah. Look at those little rods. But yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of power, but obviously too much for it to handle. I couldn't even get a good master link for it, so I've been running into a lot of problems. And basically, like I was saying, the Chinese body didn't fit, and they were trying to tell me that it was a body for a 92, but it's not. It's a 93, and that's what they had in the thing. They had 93 through 2001, and this is a C4 model. So I don't know how it was in China, but I know here there's a C4, and then it goes to the D1 model, and mine is the C4. So it's completely different from the D model, which shows the frame more. So the body didn't fit at all. So I sent it back, or I didn't send it back. I sold it on eBay for $199, and then I went to the card company and got my money back through the card company. So I actually made money on it. So when I buy the next one, I'm actually going to be saving money because, well, it's $450 for the right one, which is the 92 for my 93 bike. But the one that we got our money back for and some more on top of that was $350. So yeah, it's probably gonna not matter at all. But basically, we need new tires. We need to go through the engine. This last time, we're not taking it apart again, so we're going to do it right. It's going to probably be out for another month. And then I need to move on to the next thing, which is that stupid Saturn. The Saturn, the transmission's blown up in it. I blew it up the rest of the way. It was not shifting. Nobody wanted it. It was clunking in and out of gear. I already had 1,100 into it, but then I went and got my money back through the card company for the valve body for that because they scammed me because it almost destroyed it. I didn't really blow it up. It got stuck in a few gears at the same time, so two drums were trying to work against each other, and it fried the fluid in there, and all the clutches are messed up now. First gear doesn't engage until like 3,500 RPM, so the pump's probably destroyed. So I need to go to Pick and Pull and get a new pump or a new whole transmission, which I was going to go today and get 40% off, but it's too cold. It's like literally 12 degrees right here. So yeah, I've got two cars from Copart that need to be, or two vehicles, bike and a Saturn. The Saturn I have all my money into, and this is all my dad's money. So my car, the one that I bought from Copart, is actually doing really well. That thing, I'm just about to put new transmission fluid and filter into it, but yeah, that car is really doing well. That was a good buy. I think I have around 1,800 into it total, and I just got a new sound system, Pioneer radio, and I'm putting a Serwin Vega 15-inch sub into it. It's got a big MTX and Alpine amp, so it sounds really good, and I drive it to work. It's just got a little rust in front of the back wheels, but yeah, that's the update on everything.